In this video, we're going to show you how to use something called PowerShell Direct to connect to a virtual machine and send and receive files, even though that virtual machine is not connected to the network. Here, my example virtual machine, you can see at the bottom that there are no network adapters attached. We can also confirm from the VM settings that there is no network hardware attached to this virtual machine. There's the old IP address of when it was on the network, and it no longer is. So our virtual machine is completely isolated from the network, but we still need some necessary log files or what have you from that virtual machine. Let's figure out how to get that. Step one is that the virtual machine integration service named guest service interface needs to be enabled on your virtual machine. This is not enabled by default. As you can see here, the status is currently enabled false, so this is not an enabled feature. Let's go ahead and enable that. And now that service is enabled. This is what we're going to utilize to get into that virtual machine using PowerShell Direct. I just want to confirm one last time that this virtual machine is not on the network, so we're going to do this the PowerShell way as well. Because this commandlet and this variable are now returning a value of null, there's no result in there. We know that there are no network adapters attached to this virtual machine. So now we're going to attempt to connect in using that PowerShell Direct session that I was talking about. We're going to create a new PS session, and then we're going to specify a virtual machine name, whereas normally you would specify a computer name. Let's see how this works. Input your credentials like normal. So as you can see, we are connected successfully into our virtual machine over PowerShell Direct. Now, I do have a specific log file I'm looking to confirm exists and then also bring out of this virtual machine. It's located at the My App Logs folder right off of the root of C, and it does exist. So I do want to retrieve this in some way, but I don't know how to do that right now. Let's figure that out together. I'm going to exit back to my Hyper-V host, and then we're going to utilize the copy item commandlet. We're able to specify from what session, and that still is a valid operation even when it is a PowerShell Direct session instead of your normal PowerShell session. So here, we're going to specify that specific log that we located, and then I want to specify a destination on my Hyper-V host that it's going to reside in when it comes over. We have successfully copied over that file now, and I want to confirm on my Hyper-V host that this VM file exists and came over correctly. And there we go. Now have access to that log file getting copied over a PowerShell Direct PowerShell session. We can operate this in the other direction as well. The use case here would be if you had a deployment application that you wanted to get installed before you actually network attach that server. So here we're going to utilize that same copy item commandlet, and instead of going from session, we're actually going to go to session. So we're going to specify our PowerShell session. The path is going to be specified from my Hyper-V host into the destination of my virtual machine path. You can see the progress bar there, that the file copy transfer process did complete successfully. We got no errors, and let's go ahead and confirm the file that we sent over, just a simple wallpaper file in our instance, did successfully get transferred over. We're going to use getChildItem on that folder to make sure that that wallpaper file did successfully make it over. And looks like it did. Perfect. I hope that this video on PowerShell Direct with Hyper-V has been helpful, and thank you for watching.